Matt Bauer here from Bauer Tree Equipment. And, you know, I talk a lot of crap about BC1000s. And I'm gonna show you why I hate these machines so much. No disrespect to my friends at Vermeer, but damn. Okay. That right there is a broken frame. All right? They got this 2-layered frame, lightweight frame in here. Look at all this junk. Look at all this crap that gets built up in these machines. The side cover has to come off. How many bolts was that, Angelo?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
A bunch.
It should be 9, but 2 of the mounts are broken.
A bunch of tiny little 10mm nonsense screws. It's really difficult to get off. There's the axle. There's the fuel tank. Okay, there's a fuel tank retaining plate. In order to get that plate off, I have to remove the axle. And I've already been showered with all this garbage multiple times. I mean, just look at this. All right, compare that to a Bandit. We have a 250 over here. Where are we? Well, there's no comparison. Here's a fuel tank on a Bandit. It's 2 bolts and lift it off. Right, hydraulic tape, 2 bolts, lift it off. Belt cover, I don't know, what is it, 6 bolts, but they're easy, they're big, they don't give you trouble. And then the whole thing is available. There's the frame on a Bandit. Look at this thing. Okay, that's 6-inch. I mean, Bandit frames never crack. I didn't even know this was an issue until we're crawling around checking the bearings and found that the bolts are busted holding on the axle. Why are the bolts busted? Well, because the frame's busted. And that's just one part. They don't have a clutch in here. What they have is a belt tension system, which costs more than the clutch to replace. So those bearings in that shaft go out, and you're $1,500 worth of parts to replace it. And you got to take all this garbage off. It's just absurd to me how they design these things. We still might have to take this side off. And if the other side, which is easier, is any indicator, it's just going to be well, it's not going to be fun. Anyway, I'm just venting. I mean, God, I hate these machines. That's a BC1000 for you. Say hi, Bodie. Bodie's not happy either. This shop's cold this morning. Okay, we've got this figured out here. So in order to fix this little crack here in the frame, this plate here reinforces the frame for the axle. The axle then bolts to that support. That's where it broke. We have to drop the axle to get the fuel tank out. Once that is done, we have to unbolt the feed table, the entire feed table, which means unbolting this panel that covers the control valve, which has a whole bunch of wires running it too, because it's an electrically actuated hydraulic control valve. So we got to pull that off, which should take about an hour all to itself, because again, they use these tiny little 10mm nonsense bolts. And well, they're not 10 millimeter. The heads are 10 millimeter. They're like 6 millimeter. So once we have all that disconnected, and again, we got to do all of that just to disconnect the wires, just to remove the feed table, just to get to the frame that is broken in two in a way that it never should have broken in two. Now you got to take this chipper apart, completely apart in two pieces to fix something that never should have broken in the first place. Thank you, Vermeer. You guys are great.